Welcome to Bright Horizons
Hi,
with
Deb
and
Jim.
Jim.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Oh, there goes the tambourine.
You know what that means. Woohoo! Friday blessings, everybody. Good to be back.
Yes, and thank you for that beautiful birthday celebration.
That was a lot of fun.
All that work, when you think that behind the
Aw.
scenes that Deb did to my birthday so special, thank you.
There is nothing, believe me, that was nothing compared to what I would have loved to have done if we had more time. You
Well, it
deserve
was
the very
superb.
best.
It couldn't have done more, and
You
I
deserve the very
appreciate it
best.
deep down in my heart. Your generosity also, all the beautiful
Well,
cards,
You're the same way, Jim, and we
thank
all
you.
love you so much.
and
I
then
would,
all the surprise visits.
I
Virginia
know,
Spencer,
I know.
Maria
I
Fresnetta,
was so happy that everybody was, and
Robin Allen from my office. Thank you,
Robin, I
Robin.
love you, and I know you follow us. I think she is such a doll. You're so
She is. I'm
fortunate to
blessed.
have her. I've been dealing with Robin for years, and
Yeah,
we talk on the
18
phone,
years.
but I just have met her for
Right.
the first time.
Right, it was
And
beautiful.
I said, okay, I'm going to meet you, but wear the bow tie.
Yes, and thank you for everyone wearing the bow ties.
I just thought to myself, what can I do for my gym?
Yes,
you know,
it
I
was
call it
perfect.
my gym.
Angela Kaufman, thank you, Angela,
Yes,
too.
Angela. I
Yes.
mean, and it was just everybody was right on board. And believe you me, there were people that wanted to make it, they just couldn't make it. But
Right.
their
It was
hearts
fun,
and
fun,
mind
fun.
were with you. Believe
Yes,
me.
thank you.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed
And it was such a wonderful weekend, too, because I celebrated that night with my family.
Your family, okay.
We went to 1000 North, which is in Jupiter, beautiful restaurant along
Nice.
the
I've
inlet.
heard, yeah,
Yes, along
yeah.
the inlet. And I received so many beautiful gifts. My sister went
Aw.
overboard with all these funny gifts and, you know, my age. And it was
Angela,
cute.
I
So
think
thank
you're
you.
I've got to meet
My
your
beautiful
sister. I
Angela.
really have to.
Yeah, she wants to meet you too.
I think
And John, my wonderful brother-in-law, and my beautiful niece Jean Marie, and her wonderful
family
husband
is
Mike.
so special. My
Yes.
gosh.
And
Thank God
my,
for family.
my niece and nephews gave me a beautiful photo with me in it, you know, with a
nice.
frame that says "We love you, Unky." They call me Unky, Unkie. So cute. And my generosity and my beautiful nieces, Christina and Jean Marie, thank you so much for the gifts.
I
It was
love
beautiful.
that. Uncky's adorable. That's cute.
And then the
Now
next
watch, I'll start calling you, hey, Unky. I think it's adorable.
and then
I
the
love
next day continued with the celebrations. Dear Ananello gave me this beautiful charm that says
Oh.
blessed.
Oh,
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, Jim, that is
She's a
absolutely
beautiful spirit.
beautiful.
It's on my
I don't know if you
my
can see
chain
that, yeah.
because I wear the pocket watch, so it's beautiful. on
I
my-
love it.
And we
Jim.
went to see the musical Donna Summer musical, which was wonderful at the
Oh
Kravis
my
Theater.
gosh, let's
All those
dance.
beautiful songs, yeah, Donna Summer.
Let's dance.
Yeah, Last
the
Dance.
Last dance. Come
For
on.
love.
Let's dance.
The last dance.
Tonight. Oh boy, I'll tell you, she was something in her time, and we lost
Yes.
an icon. She
At
was
the end,
fabulous.
everybody stood up and they were all dancing around because of the
She
songs.
was fabulous.
Remember the disco era, so she had a
Oh
lot of
my
disco
gosh,
songs.
Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta and that
That
ball,
disco,
boy.
yes.
That disco ball.
And she was the queen of disco.
Most certainly,
Summer.
and it's funny because the bump, remember that?
Yes.
And then the hustle.
That's funny you should say that because I
I
go
used
to
to
the
love
bump.
doing the
The
bump.
bump was a good one.
The bump
Bumping
is such
your
a
hips to your
yeah, it's like
your
let's
dancer.
bump.
Oh,
You be on the dance floor, bumping away, you know. And at that time, it was pretty cool and pretty, you know.
Yes.
It was a great dance to do. And now then the hustle and oh, forget it.
And then we went to a local restaurant afterwards called Uncle Eddie's up in Jupiter.
Not Unkies.
No, Uncle Eddie's.
I love it.
And they have entertainment. Mike McCann, who with Legends
Mike McCann,
Radio,
yes,
he's the
yes.
MC and he sings also.
That's right.
And
I've
it's-
been following.
Yes,
Mike, I know.
and it's a
yeah.
restaurant where people get up and they sing all night from 6:30 to 10. All these different people, patrons from the restaurant, got up and sang songs. It's a festive atmosphere. It was just
I
beautiful. So I
love
recommend
it.
on Sunday evening, every Sunday,
Okay.
Uncle Eddie's in Jupiter.
That is wonderful.
It is.
Yes,
It is.
absolutely. I would love
It's just
to
a
go
beautiful
there.
experience. So it was a wonderful weekend. And then on Monday, my nephew Chase had his birthday. So
Chase, I
14
love that
years
name.
old. We went to my niece Jean Marie and Mike's
so
house.
young.
Yes.
Just beginning his life. That's wonderful.
And we had a beautiful celebration for Chase. So happy birthday, Chase.
Happy birthday,
14.
Chase.
I can't believe it all.
Oh, I'll tell you
I know.
when I was 14, just yesterday. And those are the good times.
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
Enjoy every day,
Happy
Chase.
birthday, Chase.
Yes.
The only birthday that comes to mind, we mentioned her last week because today's the 26th,
Yes.
right? Is it the 26th already?
Today's the 27th.
27, okay. So we're really getting it close to the end of the month. Marcy Hopkins,
Yes,
happy birthday. We
Marcy.
love you. Mwah. We
And
mentioned you
Holly
last
had
week.
her birthday.
Holly had her birthday May 24th. My beautiful sister, happy birthday. Mwah.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Holly loves her Spanish.
And look at this beautiful book she gave me.
Holly, aw.
Let Nothing Disturb You. It's all about Saint Teresa of Avila. a wonderful saint, so thank you. I look forward to reading this.
Holly
It's
wanted me to
inspiring.
give it to Jim, and he's all excited, so he's going to read it. Very inspiring.
Yes. Let me just read this on the back. This is inspiring from the beginning. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing make you afraid. All things are passing. How true.
Oh,
God
amen to
alone
that.
never changes.
Amen.
Patience gains all things.
Oh, amen.
If you have God with you, you will want for nothing.
Thank God.
God
Amen.
alone suffices. So
I
thank
just
you,
got
Holly.
goosebumps. Holly, I
Beautiful.
love you so much. She's such a great sister.
Yes.
You know,
It'd be inspiring.
She's very, very giving, very
Yes.
loving, and she always thinks of others. So
Thank you,
Holly,
thank
that
you,
was
thank
very
you.
sweet.
And look at the beautiful color that Deb's wearing today.
Jim had asked me the color. I
And
guess
would
it's
you
a fuchsia
believe
magenta.
she's got the color in the necklace,
And I have my
the earrings, the bracelet, the ring.
Oh wait, the earrings too. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
planning.
That's
And-
planning.
and-
I just felt like I fuchsia'd it up today.
And
is
it's
what I
even
did.
more vivid in person than on that screen. It's
Yeah,
just
it is kinda
beautiful.
vivid, huh?
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah, you
Bright.
have to
It's a
have
good
fun.
way to
Bright.
yes start
Friday
the day.
blessings, fun Friday. There you
Yes,
go.
and she's got the
Fun
Zsa
Friday.
curls, right? The Zsa curls.
Yeah. What'd you say,
darling?
darling? Darling. Oh, darling, thank you, darling.
So it's a beautiful
Oh,
day.
but
Thank
Iva.
you.
Oh, I'll tell you, I am so excited about the topic that we will be discussing this morning. And
Yes.
this came from Mr. Chiaffi himself, and I loved it. When he ran it by me, I said, oh my gosh, Jim, I said, you couldn't have picked a better topic.
Yes.
And with that being said, Jim,
There's 3 C's of life: choices, chances, and changes. Okay?
choices, change,
Chances
oh, I
and
love that,
changes.
and changes.
You
And
must
that-
make a choice
Oh, I love
to
it.
take a chance, or life will never change. And you know who actually recommended this years ago, before our show started? One of my former staff members, Natasha Peacock. So thank you, Natasha. She gave me a card with that on it because she said, I think this is something that you'll always find inspiring, and it is. It's just beautiful.
Well, I couldn't be
And
happier
a wonderful
that you brought
topic.
that up.
Yes.
Thank you, Natasha.
Yes.
You know, I was reading myself, because the 80-20 principle will never let us, do what we want to do, but it gives us a better realm, a better
Yes.
idea of what we need to do and what we have to do. And the principle will tell us about choices. And I was telling Jim, success.com has all these wonderful, I'll show you
it's
a little bit
yes.
of that right now.
And they have a magazine they publish, Success.
It's wonderful, all of their beautiful,
Inspiring.
inspiring words. You'll just see, and it gives me goosebumps. I love it
Yes.
because we do take life. I know I do. I'm guilty as charged, trust me.
At times we all do.
I don't know why. You don't want to beat yourself up. You don't want to say, oh God, there's that expression, would have, could have, should have. Choose to love yourself and go from there. I was thinking about that. Do I love myself? I think I'm great. I love myself.
Yes, that's
How do you
true.
feel about you?
Yes, you have to. You
When I
should.
say it that way, I'm not being vain. What I'm
No.
saying is, you have
You want to have a
everything
positive
inside of
feeling
you.
about yourself.
Right.
Yes.
And you have to love yourself before you could love others. Let's face it, we all know that. And choice is a serious business, honestly, because it chooses to take your life down the path that you want to do.
Yeah, I
and
thought I had a quote about that too, that now that you're saying about loving yourself. But actually, too many people are hard on themselves, critical of
Right,
themselves
right.
all the time, and that's not a good frame of mind. You want the
Well,
positivity.
Sometimes we're too demanding of yourself, and because everyone wants to love someone, they
Right.
admire,
Right.
that's basically
Right.
where it stands. And
But you want to make
there's only
choices.
so many hours in a day, too,
Yeah.
so that's why we feel guilty, I think, a lot of times.
You want to make choices that reflect your hopes and not fears, because we all have fears, and we
Yes.
never want to make choices that are based on fears.
Right?
And they might be subconscious too. but-
No, yeah.
But you always want to think about something positive and the outcome that'll be hopeful for you.
Absolutely. And if you're not the most important thing in your life, you won't be doing anybody else a favor.
That's
Think
right.
about that.
That's right.
Because you have to take it seriously. And that's why people are drawn to you and you're drawn to others. It's
Yes.
just the realm of life, the way it's always been, if you think
True.
about it, yeah.
And I think it's important to be active rather than reactive. Take action, rather than let things affect you. Be the one who
Take
takes
action. Jim,
Yeah.
bingo, you said a mouthful.
And
You
it's
most
funny.
certainly did.
This example I thought of is not monumental in my life, but it's a funny example. It was interesting.
I love
Back-
Jim's funny side.
Back in 1983, Berg and DeVosta, who were builders in this area,
Great builders.
announced that they were going to be building the Bluffs in Jupiter.
I remember that.
Yes,
Bluffs
and-
in Jupiter, yes.
My office was in Tequesta, so I would always drive by that area and say, oh, I'd love to live here sometime if this were ever developed. It was just a vast
I remember
area,
when it was
undeveloped,
brand
right?
new, yes.
So they said that the sales would begin in March of 1983. So on a Tuesday, I'm driving by that area, and I look to my left where the Bluffs would be built, and there was a trailer, and then there were people all lined up. I said, what's this? So I stopped there, and I said, what's going on? They said, sales begin Saturday, but we're waiting online Tuesday night until Saturday. Imagine this line started forming on Tuesday.
And it wasn't even Black Friday. Oh my God.
So I said, oh my God, I've got to get online.
Oh, no.
Because I want to be there for Saturday. So,
Tuesday, Wednesday,
Thursday,
Thursday, Friday,
Friday.
Saturday.
Would you believe we camped out there?
Did you
from-
really?
I slept in my car the first night.
You did really?
And then
That's funny.
And then the next night, I met a couple there who had a trailer near that area, and they had an extra bunk bed, so luckily I could sleep on one of their bunk beds, so I was
What a choice
I
you
was
made.
horizontal. Because it was not easy sleeping in a car that didn't have a reclining seat.
Aw, no.
But being about taking action and being active, they took attendance 2 times a day, and if you missed the roll call, you were off the list, right?
Wow.
So I volunteered, this is active, I volunteered to take the attendance because I wanted to be involved in the whole process. So I was the one who took attendance.
Well, good for you.
Yes, see, so I
You
wanna
made
show
a
you-
choice.
yes, I made a
Because you
choice.
knew darn well by doing that, you were
Right.
gonna be a part of it.
Right, and
Period.
I could be somewhat control about the situation, right? Not just relying on what people are telling me. I was part of it. So
I love
it was
that
really,
story.
yeah, it was beautiful. So
And it's
I want to
funny 'cause-
encourage you
yeah.
in a situation like that where you can take some degree of control
That was
or
smart
be
on
active.
your
Yeah,
part. Yes.
assert yourself and do that. It's so important.
Absolutely, I love that story.
Yes, and I wanted a townhouse, and I got a beautiful townhouse with the exposure I wanted. It worked out very well.
Because of the choice you
Yes,
made, and you were
yes.
darned and determined.
And I live right near the ocean there, 2 blocks. Used to go.
Remember they had a timeshare there, something in the Bluffs? The
Yes.
Reef Club? I think it was a Reef Club.
That's a little further north from
Is
there.
that still
yes.
there? It's
Yes,
been a
the-
while.
The Ocean Reef Club.
And I remember back then, it was, well, fairly new.
Yes.
You know, and that was a big hot, timeshares at that time were very, very hot and on the rise. you know,
Yes,
Big
but
time.
it's
But the
just,
Bluffs is a beautiful area.
that's just
It's
an
a
example that
gorgeous-
came
yeah.
to my mind when I was thinking about
That
being
is
active.
a great
Yeah.
example to choose wisely.
Right.
Because as something as minute as what am I gonna have for breakfast, believe it or not, that makes a difference.
Sure.
Because I know, I thought about this, we're always in a rush, okay, you have your agenda, you got your schedule, get up in the morning, you're doing this, you're doing, okay, what am I gonna have? I know, the other night Greg's like, what do we do for dinner? I'm like, again? I said, I don't know, we just had veal, we just had, it's a
Right.
choice,
One
you know?
variety.
So,
But that's a good
the
point you
little
make.
things that you
Breakfast,
make.
right? You could
Yes.
say, I'm gonna skip it, I'm late, I'm gonna run to the office.
Yeah, but then you pay.
Right, you have no nutrition in your
No.
body, you're
And I feel horrible
lethargic.
if I don't eat
Yeah,
something.
you're lethargic, you're not mentally alert.
No.
So you really need to make
No,
that
I
time
agree.
and have that breakfast.
Even if it means
Yeah.
a little yogurt or what have you, I know
Yes.
I love that.
I love oatmeal,
Yes.
yes.
Do you know what's really good, and Greg's been making, I don't know, I'm on this kick, cream of wheat.
Is it good? Yes.
It's fabulous, I
Yeah.
just can't get enough, I don't know, it's something going on with me, I have this desire for cream of
And do
wheat.
you put something on it?
Greg makes it in such a way, he puts cinnamon and
Oh,
he
nice.
puts raisins in it, and it is
Yes.
out of this world. And I love oatmeal, but I
I
didn't
must
realize.
have a chef in my mind because I put oatmeal and I
I
put
love
raisins
raisins. Isn't
and
that
cinnamon
good?
on my oatmeal.
Yummy. I absolutely.
Thank you, Greg.
No, I
He-
love that.
Yes.
Well, it won't be the same if you don't like raisins, put bananas in
Yeah,
juice, whatever
sure.
you're liking.
That-
But
some
I adore
fruit.
raisins.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
delicious.
Yeah. But your 3 C's also. I thought about this. Choose your friends in
Right.
your life.
That's
That's
impo-
another.
That is a very important one because bad friends,
That's
bad
right.
influences can alter
Yeah.
your whole course of life. People become criminals because of sometimes their friends, you know.
Over time we do become more like our friends, and they
Yes.
become more like us.
Right.
There's influence with each other enormously when you think about it. And so if you want to know more somebody in a different way, and also not to be on the negative side, we're all positive here, but for the friends in your life that you're not close with, if you're not there for one another, it's kind of like more an acquaintance. If there's any
Right.
toxic negativity,
Right.
you don't need that.
No.
Move on. There are people in your
Right.
life, make time for your friends. Help them by all means, which, Jim and I mean,
Yes.
I love that. I mean,
Yes.
help, H-E-L-P, that is a four-letter word that is so powerful. You know, when you make time for your friends, don't show me, tell me, and that tells me a lot about you.
Yes.
When I say you, when you take that time, you know, you help them in adversity and you see them as much as you can.
You know, and I would encourage
It's
young,
it's
I don't think we have a
important.
lot of young viewers, but maybe we could influence our younger viewers.
Yeah.
Because when they're teenagers, like I'm thinking about my nephew Chase, the friends
love
that he
that name,
keeps,
Chase.
the friends that he keeps will determine his life, because he could mistakenly become involved, like to be cool, with the people that start using drugs.
Right.
And it takes you in a whole different direction, and it
Right.
could ruin your life.
Right.
So you really have, and thank God they have parents who instill
Exactly.
principles, but,
Absolutely.
hopefully Chase will always make the right decisions, but that's up to
I
us
love that with
to
my parents
influence.
growing up.
Yes.
And that's spot on, Jim,
Yes.
because, you know, that's why my mother was so actively involved with no matter what we did. And now I thank her so much. Thank you, Mom, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, a few real friends are worth more than a dozen
Right.
of your friends. That's how I feel.
And when you think back, I know you do, you have a lot of friends from childhood
I
still.
I do.
Deb still talks about them.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. Do you know I still have letters? I do.
Yeah,
When we've moved,
my-
I don't
my-
know.
My
I'm
longest,
a pack rat that way.
my longest standing friend, his name is Gene Koski, and he watches the show once in a while. You know, we knew each other when we were 5 years old, and
It's so fun.
kindergarten together.
It's amazing.
And he sent me birthday wishes. His birthday's coming up in the beginning of June. So it is to have friends that many years. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we always make new friends, and, you know, if you find that they are not adding, like I just got done saying, a lot to your life, and you're not adding a lot to theirs, go ahead and make new friends, believe me. There's a reason for everybody in our lives, and you know, they come into our lives like we do for a reason.
And I would caution you not to say that you made wrong choices. We learn from our choices. So if a
Very
choice,
profound,
if a
yes.
choice does not result,
Yes.
you know, the way we would like the result to be, then just, it's a learning experience, right? Just like when we've talked before about Thomas Edison and people who
That's
are
right.
inventors.
That's right.
You know, they made a choice to do an experiment. It didn't turn out the way, but they
Mhm.
learned from it.
That's
And
right.
look at all the beautiful things and inspiring things, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Edison,
Oh,
all
my
these
gosh.
people.
Did they ever dream that they'd
If they
be
got
where-
discouraged,
yeah.
they would never fulfill.
What would they
that.
have done? Where would they be?
In modern day, Elon Musk, look at this gentleman who's achieved so much with his electric cars, SpaceX. I mean, who could conceive those things? Someone like
That's very
him.
true.
You know, it's beautiful.
Choose your career that you love.
And I'm
That's
sure
very
he's had some
important.
challenges, but he
Einstein.
overcame them. Yeah, right. Einstein too.
Challenges happen in everyday life, and you know, it's totally obvious that we spend half of our waking hours working, and
Right.
you know, utterly mad not to enjoy it. You would be mad not to enjoy it. So whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying it, because even if it requires years of learning or experimenting, then you know you have to find out what is it you do like and what you enjoy.
And you mentioned work. You know, sometimes people settle into a position that they're not happy.
I am so glad you said that,
Yes.
Jim. I am so happy.
We
I'll tell
encourage
why.
you to change your life if you're not happy in your
Mhm.
situation. Sometimes we're fearful, but I've always found that when you make that decision to change,
Uh-huh.
things fall into place. You know, like you're not sure, well, will I be able to earn money and
Right,
all
'cause
these
you're
other responsibilities we have.
right.
But when you make that decision to do it, and I think being your own boss is one of the best things you could ever be.
Jim, amen
Yes,
to that.
because you control your life and your destiny. So I
You know,
encourage
I-
any one of you that's not happy in your situation, think about making a change.
Yeah.
And really, there's a way to do it.
My younger sister Holly is going through that. I know you watch the show, Holly, but I always encourage her
Yes.
that there's a reason when the time comes, she's gonna know exactly what needs to be done.
Right.
And you really have to, like I said, half of your waking life is working. And if you're not doing something, if the heat in the kitchen's too hot, get out.
Right.
Just get out,
Right.
because you're not doing yourself any favors, you're not doing your employer any favors. I mean, money can be made anywhere, but you've got to, and it shows when you
Yeah, because
enjoy
you're not
what
happy
you-
every day.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
who wants to be in that frame of mind
Could you
where you
imagine
dread?
walking, and believe you me, I've been in these
Yes.
experiences, and they're not very pleasant, to where, good morning, oh, good morning,
Right.
oh,
But-
hi, not, hi, how are you? I
Right.
mean, you don't wanna go, and act like, look, but you know, choose to get excited every
Right,
day, you
right.
know? Without excitement, then, you know, you're rubbing off. We're truly not alive. Some people are fortunate just to have that attribute in there. That's their
Yes.
personality. It comes naturally to them. and they get excited for everything that they do. We're not gonna say, oh gee, I gotta do this project, and oh yippee-yi-yay, but enjoy what you do, it's so very important, and,
I saw a quote
do it
from
intensely too.
John Maxwell, he's a well-known motivational
Yes.
speaker. Every choice you make makes you. Isn't that profound,
Very
right?
true, very true. Every choice you makes you.
And this is a funny one too, because from the time you open your eyes, right, you're making a choice. Do I stay in bed a little longer, or do I get up, right?
I do that. I just admitted, when I do that sometimes, I'm like, oh, let me see, no, not as often.
So do you
but good.
continue to
We're
sleep?
human.
Or do you wake up and chase your dreams, so.
Oh my gosh.
And remember, you make a choice, then you could have some inspiration in the morning, right? Motivational
That's right.
tapes, or read something motivational. It's so important. Be
Right.
grateful. We've talked about gratitude before.
Yeah.
Prayer. I mean, these are things that we really want to
Exactly.
focus on,
You know, before
Don't
you
pull the
start-
cover over your head and say, oh no, another day. Pull that cover down, jump out of bed, oh, I've got another day, and, more opportunities, that's the way you want to be.
One day when it comes to the video on that, you'll be shocked. Before you start every day, work out what's going to give you a half hour of excitement, if you can. It has a strong physical element, and it's just so much better, basically. And as you were just saying, read a book every day, not a whole book, but for at least a
Yeah,
half hour.
right.
Be alone with the book, whether it's
Even if it's 15 minutes.
yeah,
whatever you can do.
it's incredibly. It's good for the
Inspiring.
mind. It's inspiring. It requires you to think.
This
and
is the book
imagine.
you want to read, Out of My Mind and Into Your Heart
You
by
got
Marie
that
Pinchot.
right, Marie. We can't get enough of that.
So much inspiration, and they're short essays, so if you
That's
had a
right.
few minutes, you could read it, or
Right.
if you want to spend 15 minutes or a half hour.
I have so many books when I think about it, because we used to belong to a Book of the Month club, and dear God, there's so many of them. And now, of course, I need readers to read. But they're wonderful. I have more motivational books, and shame on me, but I'm getting into that now,
That's
reading.
great.
And even if you have a Kindle, that's the biggest thing, too.
Yes.
Kindle, you wanna read, take that with you. Take a book or a Kindle everywhere you might wanna be able to read for a few minutes, and let that be your inspiration, and, that'll help you speed up the process of having that excitement,
Ellen-
choose to exercise also. like
Eleanor
that.
Roosevelt said, I am who I am today because of the choices I made yesterday.
I love it.
Yes.
I am who I am today because of the
Which
choices
is
I made.
true.
Yes.
The choices affect the direction of your
That's
life.
right.
Yeah.
I thought about this with you, it's easy to exercise each day for a half hour or more.
Right.
A habit, what do they say, it's 21 days to make a habit. But if you keep doing it, and I really am working on this,
Yes.
and I'm finding it to be successful, I'm doing it slowly at my pace.
Great.
Because I know that I can procrastinate, and that's one thing I don't like about myself. I don't do it as often because I'm working on that. It's not a bad thing, it's just that, other things happen, but I don't do
Gotta
it.
make time. Gotta
You
make time.
have to make the time. Do you make time to brush your teeth? Of course you do.
Right.
Do you make time to take a shower? Of course, and then never you wanna be around you because you're stuck.
And
So
think
when-
about how much time
So,
people watch television.
Right, when you think that, there you go.
You can even watch television and exercise while you're watching
Yeah,
TV.
right, so these are things, do it as a fixed time so it becomes a habit, don't let it interfere with, don't let your time interfere with that time,
Right.
because that's a separate time
Right.
to exercise. Now, my gym over here does it all the time, and like I said, you need to rub off more on me on that. Walking, running, of course, I can't do that.
Right. Well,
But,
walking and swimming.
Walking and swimming,
is
yes.
wonderful.
And I'm a little bummed out because Memorial Weekend is this weekend, and we
Yes.
plan on going to the pool, but now it says we're gonna get a lot of rain. And I said, well, that's not nice.
Well, here in Florida, we usually have some sunshine every day, so you
I
gotta run out when you
know,
see the
right.
sun.
See, again, don't make that an excuse, no excuses. Exercise not only improves the health, we all know that, it's the mental mind. And choosing to eat healthy,
Yes,
we
definitely.
talked about oatmeal, all food is habit
Chicken,
forming.
fish, vegetables,
I love
fruits.
chicken, that's my
We
favorite.
need fiber in our diets.
Greg was talking about steak the other day. Now, he's a steak and potato man, and there's nothing wrong with that. He could actually have steak every night. I have to be in the mood I find it very heavy. And I like the chicken and fish, especially chicken. I'm just a chicken freak, I love it.
Yes.
And garlic is very good for you. I know I
I
adore
know.
garlic.
I just got the
The only
odor
thing
though.
is,
I
you
can't
can't-
take the odor.
I know the odor's too
Yeah.
much. The onions, too.
Onions and garlic, yeah.
Hi, how are you? It's a pleasure seeing you today.
Those are two that
Let's
I
go to
avoid.
Experiment with food, that's good for you though, and that's what we're in the process of doing. You know, it's well worth having a blood test, and in fact, I'm going for one in the next 2 weeks with my MD. It's my overdue yearly physical, and I'm happy about that.
Definitely want to have that annually, yes.
Absolutely.
And you know what's one of the biggest decisions in our life is choosing our mate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because as an attorney, I hate to say this, but 60% of us end up in divorce. So obviously, when you think back, is there something that in the choice that you made that you could have known at the time? Sometimes you can't do that, but I mean, that affects 90% of your
Right.
happiness. If you don't have a mate that you're happy with, unfortunately, that affects your life. So you really want to look hard when you're searching for a mate to try to find someone that has the same philosophy as you,
Right.
qualities, spiritual if you're spiritual. I mean, you really need to think hard about that and not just settle for somebody because you want to have a relationship.
Well, this is a person that will be a part of your life.
Right.
You'll be doing things together, and you want to give a thought that is well deserving for you and that individual.
And look at
the,
this.
And the main respect.
So many years with Greg, that's beautiful. Kevin,
Going
Greg.
on 35. Yeah,
Yes.
35
This
years.
July,
July
it's
4th,
coming up.
Independence Day. My goodness.
You gonna go down to the Hard Rock?
We don't know. We have no idea what we're doing. I'll be off that week.
It's
I bet.
almost a little over a month away. You better start planning.
I know. It's such a fun place. We love it. That's our playground.
I
We
know.
love going there. You know, another thing that, and I know you're so wonderful with this, Jim gives to a lot of different charities, and I admire that about you, Jim. Or anybody, you know, choose to give money, give it personally to a real specific individual or to a small charity.
Well, you know, you always heard
That you are
about,
personally involved with, which you're involved with so much,
Yes.
and there's a theory that is behind that, because money, the money that you give, the more you get.
Right.
And it's not the reason why you do that, because you expect a return, that's not what I'm saying. It does seem to work eerily, I mean, very eerie when you think about it, oftentimes more than not. And giving money helps other people, and you know in your heart that you're helping them, and it helps you too by making you feel good. You're very good, it's a good value,
right.
very good value.
You know, we used to hear about tithing, you know, where people would give 10% of their income to a charity, you know, which, I know some people might have needs that don't allow that to be the case, but then give of yourself, you know. You can volunteer time, which is beautiful.
Time,
Because-
like you do as a lector? Oh, absolutely, and all the things you do at the
But
church.
think how many lives you can touch when you give of yourself.
It's wonderful.
You know, it's just beautiful.
When I was a lector,
That's
I
a
loved it.
choice. That's
It's
a
a
choice.
choice, you know, and it feels good to know that you touched somebody in a way that
Right.
made them smile.
Right.
And that is everything to me, because you made that person's day. You really
Yes.
did, and,
Just think of that woman who came up to you when you were a lector once and said,
I'll never forget it.
how
My
you
very
affected her
first,
life.
yes, and I'm so glad you brought that up,
Yes.
because she brought tears to my eyes. Now, keep in mind, this was my very first time lecturing at the church. I did not know what I was doing. Yes, they make you practice, and they have the lector books, and I was nervous, but I felt a strong need to get up there and lecture. I wanted to give of myself, and I
Right.
called a church,
right,
and I spoke to a nun, and her sister Ann, who happened to know me, as a matter of fact, because that was a church that Greg and I got married at.
right,
And to make a long story short, she says, something tells me you like to read. She says, we could always use lectors. There was a God reason why she
Right.
said that, and boom, I did it, and I loved it. But my very first time up at the podium, I thought, wow, my father was there for the first time.
proclaiming the word of God.
Proclaiming the word of God
Yes.
is just an amazing thing. And I left, and I was walking towards my parents. My father was at the time very ill. He was in a wheelchair. And my mother was there. My father had such a look on his face, Jim. And it just, I could see, it looked like he had 2 glass mirrors. He says, honey, it was wonderful. All of a sudden, here comes this woman. And she reaches her hand out. She goes, honey, I just want to thank you so much. You really touched me. And I
Beautiful.
looked at her.
Yes.
And I said, oh, I'm so happy. I said, but it wasn't me, it was him.
Yes.
She says, no, it was you. She
Um.
said, you touched me, and I just want you to know. Well, all of a sudden, I looked at my dad. I could see the tears in his eyes, and then I got teary-eyed. So, again, these choices we make are so
Yes.
important.
Because of the way that
Very important.
Deb proclaimed the word of God, it touched that woman, you know, certain words
Yeah.
are emphasized, whatever it was, that woman needed to hear that particular day.
I
It's
love it.
beautiful,
I
yes.
just got goosebumps again. And also, now, of course, this is something Easier said than
Another
done.
choice.
Yes, another choice. Choose to save money automatically. Okay, I say that all the time. Do I? Yeah. Well, specifically get into the habit.
Right,
you
because
know,
over time, it's.
giving a tenth
that
of
goes-
everything you earn. I mean, whether it's fine, whatever it may be.
Right.
It's your choice. Do it by direct debit, direct habit, as you say, create a habit.
Yes.
Choices, it'll certainly diminish your money worries down the road. Had I saved all my money in my piggy bank growing up, then darn it.
Sometimes in your mind, you might say to yourself, well, that's such a small amount, that's not gonna amount to anything, but
Good
really,
point.
when you think about compounding, whatever you can save, week, really in the long term, and then you look back and say, oh, really, if I had done that, now look what I would have had.
That's,
So you don't wanna look back with regret.
Yes.
You know, start now, today, if you haven't been saving, try to save a little,
Exactly,
yes.
and it's important. It'll certainly, like I said, diminish your
You
money
need
worries.
security as we age, so it's important, yes.
And you never know the what ifs, and they
Right.
happen. It's what you call life. I remember my piggy bank. It was so cute too. I have to bring this up, of course. My pink piggy bank.
Yes.
And every time you put a penny, a nickel, a quarter, the little top hat. I wore a black top hat. Go, oink, oink, oink.
See, anything to get a child to put money in the piggy bank.
I thought
That's
that's
cute.
exactly why my mom did it.
Very cute.
And it would get full, and I felt so rich. I remember saying, "Oh, I've got money." But anyway, it was adorable. And I wish I still had it. I have a lot of things from my childhood still, but
Beautiful memories, yes.
beautiful memories.
That's a conscious choice to save memories from your childhood.
Oh, you know what I
It
do?
warms your heart,
You know what I do? You know the big 5? I think they're 5-gallon Zephyr Hill bottles.
right?
We had a water cooler, Greg and I. Now we went to the single
Right,
Zephyr
bottles.
Hill bottles. But anyway,
You put
I changed
change
it.
in there, yeah.
And that's such challenge yourself that way. Whatever loose change, throw it in there. I went in the closet, I'm like, ooh.
But I hope you don't wait till it's full, cause you wouldn't be able to lift that up.
I know.
You
I
could dump it out, I
took
guess,
and it
into
looks like
something.
just, it's pennies, but it adds up,
Right.
so I've gotta get to a certain point. I just did that the other day.
Good,
I think that was great. Anyway, another choice.
right?
Little things like that make a
Right.
difference.
They do, they all add up in our life.
Yeah,
You-
so,
You know, worry is also a conscious choice. So I encourage all of you not to worry.
right.
What good does it do to you? It doesn't do any good.
It's not
Now,
gonna
analysis is important, you
Right.
wanna weigh the positives and the negatives, but what good is worrying about something? It just affects your health, in a bad manner.
I am guilty of that too,
Yeah.
but I'm working on that.
Good girl.
I have to be honest, because there's nothing, to me, honesty is the best policy, always. And also, what brings me happiness? A dog.
Yes.
I was looking,
Good shape,
I
good shape.
officially belong to the Cockapoo Club now.
Of course.
They are so darn cute. I honest to God, a lot, and in my community, there's a lot of people that have dogs. You see them walking. In fact, they have their doggy little strollers, and it's so darling, and just all different breeds. And yesterday, as I was driving home, I happened to see a woman, the poor thing, she was bending over, you could see she was in pain. She had a cane in one hand and the dog in the other, and the dog strutting around, oh, I'm going for a walk with my mommy. It was just lovely to see because, I like to talk to the animals. But I saw what that did for that woman.
Right.
They bring so much love and comfort to your life having a dog, and I just know when the time is right, we plan on getting another one, but, I have to add that it's clear that they make a difference in your life. They
They do.
really do.
Well, they touch you.
80% of dog affection comes from 20% of the breeds, so
It's amazing when you have a dog. They actually can
They-
read your
they-
mind
yeah,
and they
they-
can sense your feelings. And I
And they
remember
come right up to
Toya.
kiss
I
you.
told you about Toya,
Yes.
the dog that was with my mother when
Unreal.
she was not well. That dog was always by my mother because she knew my mother was not feeling well. It was just
they
amazing.
know instinctively. They really know instinctively,
Yes.
And they look
Just so
right into your
beautiful.
eyes, and it cheers you up, and
Yeah.
and it gets you also out of the house to do walking. No
Right.
excuses not to exercise.
Right.
So there you go, a dog. Get a rabbit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful thing. Choices. Wow. Like I said, breakfast, and you have to say, what are you wearing in the morning? What do you choose to wear? I decided to wear my pink, or whatever you want to call it. Choices.
Now, Dr. Wayne Dyer, you know him. He's unfortunately passed away, but he was a
Yeah.
motivational speaker. he said that too many people choose to be anonymous members of a group, and then they suffer remorse.
Oh, yeah.
You know, sometimes you can think back on circumstances where you should have taken some action and you didn't. You remain part of a group, and then you realize, wow, you know, I should have been the one to take some action in that particular situation. So,
And then we beat ourselves up.
Yeah.
It's true, you know, it's,
now, I heard this in church once, so I wanted to relate this. Two monks were walking along a river, and they saw a woman that was having some trouble crossing the river. So one of the monks picked her up and carried her across the river to the other side. And the other monk said, you know, that was not proper for you to do. You should not have lifted that woman up and carried her across the other side. So the other monk said, I took that action and I brought her along the other side. But forever in your mind, you're going to have the remorse that you didn't carry that woman to the other side. So I think it's important to think about
Right.
circumstances where we need to take action, otherwise we will regret that we did not take that action.
yes, and
So,
I guess it's,
Yes,
it's hurtful
Yes.
when you look back in time. I was picking up my mail the other day, and a woman was sorting through her. We have a mail desk, and she was sorting through her mail, and she had a key. She goes, "Oh, I have a big box in my mailbox, and I just can't reach it." And I said, "I'll be happy to do it." She didn't come out and say, "Would you?" I automatically did it.
Right.
Opened it up. I said, "Here's your package. Oh, thank you so much." She had an ailment going on.
right,
Little things like that,
Yes.
you know, just listen. That's why we have 2 ears. Listen. There's a reason why people say the things they say, and you know,
it's true.
if you can help in any way, be the first one to do so. It makes you feel good at the end of the day.
Deb has some beautiful quotes with, where do you see
Yeah.
these beautiful scenes of
These
nature?
scenes are gorgeous, and they're done by Success.com.
Yes.
And this one says, sometimes it's the smallest decisions that can change your life forever.
That's
Carrie
true.
Russell.
And look at this beautiful forest scene,
See?
love it.
Another one by Success.com, which is from Stephen Covey. We are the creative force of our life, and through our own decisions rather than our conditions, if we carefully learn to do certain things, we can accomplish those goals.
So true. Here's the
Beautiful.
river.
I mean,
Beautiful
just the
forest,
photos
yeah.
themselves speak
I
to
love
say
these
it all,
because they're
aren't they?
nature, yes.
all nature. Another one by Tony Robbins, one of my
Yes.
favorites, Success.com. Your life changes the moment you make a new, congruent, and committed decision.
True. And
Look
look at this,
at that.
bright horizons.
Bright horizons.
I love those photos.
Success.com by Brittany Murphy. Life presents you with so many decisions. A lot of times they're right in front of your face, as you just got done saying, and they're really difficult, but we must make them.
This is a farm.
Yeah?
I love those scenes.
This is one
I call nature
by-
God's art.
Oh, it
you know,
most certainly
yes.
is. Success.com again. Choices are the things of
Destiny.
destiny. For
Look at
sure,
this
for sure.
Beautiful loving couple together there on the hill. It just brings joy to your heart, even if it's for 20 seconds, to think about these
Yeah,
and to
you
see
just
the
take a
photos.
deep breath and you say, wow, how beautiful. Success.com again. I believe that we are solely responsible for our choices, and we have to accept the consequences of every deed, word, and thought throughout our lifetime.
And we have clouds. Keeping with my children's book that I'm
There you
preparing.
go. Brandon Boyd from Success.com.
We have flowers.
I think that there is something beautiful about mortality. It makes our decisions mean more.
It's true, because they
Very
are life,
true, yeah.
they affect our lives, our mortality.
There's quite a few, but I wanted to,
beautiful flowers.
you know, this is something that's so important to keep in mind. It's Friday, the end of the work week. Maybe one of these will hit you and I'll make your day. Success.com, Jim Rohn. It doesn't matter which side of the fence you get off on. Sometimes what matters most is getting off.
Get off the fence.
Getting off that fence. You cannot make progress without making decisions.
That's true. That's another, like a ranch scene. Beautiful.
I love ranches and horses
Yes.
and chickens.
Are you a horseback rider?
I used to, not
Really?
professionally, but
No.
until I almost fell
Wow.
off and that did that. That's another story, another time, but boy, oh boy. And I have a couple of pictures with me up close to some horses. Life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. You just got
John
to saying that.
Maxwell.
John Maxwell,
Right.
success.com.
But look at this beautiful scene.
Yeah,
The sun, must be the sun either setting or rising on the water there. Beautiful.
yes. The more choices, the more decisions that you are forced to make alone, the more you are aware of your freedom to choose.
That's true.
Success.com.
Most of our decisions are made alone.
Yeah. This is absolutely stunning. Talk about bright
Yes.
horizons. The key to accepting responsibility for your life is to accept the fact that your choices, every one of them, are leading you inexorably to either success or failure, however you define those terms. Look at how
Look at
gorgeous
that
that
scene.
is.
Yeah.
Ah, that is simply
Just warms your heart. Now
breathtaking.
look at this next one. Oh.
You've got just two
The
more,
sunset.
but this is just amazing. This is what Jim fell in love with when I showed him. Decisions are the frequent fabric of our daily design. Don Yeager, success.com.
Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? I wish they would tell you where that is, because I'd love to go there
You know
and
what?
enjoy that in
I'm going to
person.
Google it. That's all.
Must be
I'll Google it.
California, I would think.
Last but not least, success.com by Graham Brown states, now this is one of my favorites, life is about choices. Some we regret, some we're proud of, some will haunt us forever. The message is, we are what we choose to be.
Right. Thank you, Deb. Very
And
inspiring.
there
And then it's time for our dear Marie
you go.
Pinchman.
All righty.
And would you believe the name of this essay? Choices, choices,
Ah.
choices.
Does that surprise me? No.
How appropriate, Marie.
Marie's got everything. I'm gonna make you sit a copy.
Just read a little bit of this. Shopping in our local Publix, that's a supermarket here in Florida,
Public supermarkets.
is
but-
not unlike running a marathon. In New Orleans, where I once lived, there was a grocery so large that the aisles were labeled with street names. Imagine. But I was
Wow.
younger then and enjoyed all those choices. Walking the aisles at Publix today got me thinking about our present day choices. Those of you concerned about weight gain, and particularly if you're on a diet, you're given a specific food you should or should not eat. I came away from the array of choices somewhat aggravated while remembering the simplicity of mom and pop groceries that stocked our essential items for running a household and feeding a family. The problem, as I see it, is that to get around all those choices and decisions, the issue is to realize also that we have thought choices that we should work on. If I had to keep a list of what I eat and how much the constant thoughts and reminders of food would cause me to eat even more. If we don't like our thoughts, then we have to replace the harmful ones with an activity that so absorbs us that we totally shut them out from our consciousness. So I just love the inspiration, Marie. Thank you so much for
That
pointing
is
that out.
lovely and so spot on too.
Yes.
For today's topic.
And then she goes on, we have moral choices, food choices, friendship choices, and on, not the least of which is thought choices.
Nothing leaves but, yes.
If they are not controlled, they will control us.
So true.
I love that. Yes, thank you, Marie. Out of my mind and into your heart.
I would love nothing more now than go out and get a pizza with mushrooms. No. Although I do like that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, for crying out loud,
Right.
we have to indulge sometimes,
We
but
want to,
not to,
and we want to acknowledge Memorial Day.
yes, absolutely.
Monday, our veterans,
We thank you so very much from the bottom of our hearts. We love
yes,
you.
and the ones
for
who
your
gave their
service.
lives, for their service. I do want to highlight, I wrote an article this month for Memorial Day about
Yes,
veterans.
as you know, Jim's articles in the newspaper, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. And you can go online too, if
Yes.
you'd like to see them.
Yes,
It's
Sea Breeze
Sea
Publications.
Breeze Publications, right.
And it's PGA Community
Right.
News. But I wanted to highlight the woman who takes care of my niece and nephews. We call her either a nanny, governess. We call her Mimi. It's an affectionate term,
Mimi,
Mimi.
of
Her real
course.
name is Leslie, but the children call her Mimi. Her father fought in World War II,
Mm-hmm.
and he was stationed in France. And at one point, there was an orphanage, and the American soldiers got there and saved these children and brought them across a river along with some nuns to get them away from the enemy that were approaching. Unfortunately, he was captured,
Mm.
and he was in a prison camp,
Oh, wow.
but survived, thank God. But he learned a lot of lessons while in that prison camp, because he had a wife and children home. But he learned the importance of being strong and focusing on his family to get back to them, because naturally it's a very depressing atmosphere
Oh.
with everything that's going on in a prison camp. But he was strong and learned life lessons, and I want to recognize people like that, our soldiers who defended our country, sacrificed so much for us. We thank you on Memorial Day.
We do thank
And
you
and
with all of our
the
hearts.
soldiers that are in heaven, that lost their lives in the wars also, but we recognize you. And let's remember Memorial Day, that's the reason for this weekend.
Let's not
Holiday.
lose sight of what's
Yes.
important on that
Yes.
day. It's a day that, we may be off from work and certain places we're all closed and we're out barbecuing and all that, but let's not forget the
Yes.
importance of that day.
So we thank you, all the veterans.
We most certainly
And
do.
what a
From the
difference a day
bottom of our
makes.
hearts. What a difference a day makes, and you know where that goes, and
With
you
our
know what we're about
tambourine.
to do. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers. Where there used to be rain, what a difference a day makes. And the difference is you, and you, and you. You better believe you make a difference. We love you. Happy Memorial Day. Please stay safe.
Yes.
Please, if you're gonna travel, don't go too far. Just stay with your loved ones if you can. Have fun, be safe, God bless you.
Save every moment with your loved ones. It's so important to do
Yes.
that. Those
And
are
we
the
look-
memories that we really cherish.
Amen to that. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, God bless you.
Yes. And
Love you
remember
all.
to keep
Always keep your
your
horizons
horizons bright.
bright. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. We